Following on from my previous video where I got my Mega Drive to phone up my Nokia N-Gage, I thought I'd do a quick unboxing and give you a closer look at the modem itself. So despite what a lot of people think, the Dreamcast wasn't actually the first Sega console to have its own first-party modem and have online capabilities. Before that, there was the Saturn. You could get a modem for that, play people online. And then before that, obviously there was the Mega Drive, and using this peripheral here, you could go online. The particular version I'm going to be taking a look at is this one here, and this is the Game Library or Oyun Toshokan bundle pack. And you could buy the modem on its own if you wanted, but with this package you basically got everything you needed to connect to the internet and download your games and play people online. The Game Library network was a subscription-based service where you could pay 800 yen per month, and then that would allow you to then download some mini games and play people online. It was released back in 1990 and it was eventually discontinued in 92 when they turned off the servers. I don't think it was too popular, so that's why it ended up getting cancelled. But apart from the Game Library network, you could also sign up for an online banking service, and I believe there was also another service you could sign up for that allowed you to use your Mega Drive as an answering machine or a fax machine or something like that as well. So definitely well ahead of its time. Just a quick note on some of the similar types of devices for the Mega Drive, such as the Sega channel adapter and the third-party X-Band, which was an online multiplayer peripheral. These worked in quite a different way to the official modem in that the likes of your Sega channel adapter, this was more of a receiver than anything else. It wasn't like a two-way communication device. You couldn't play online multiplayer or anything. This basically just hooked up to your cable provider here, and it really just tuned into a live stream and downloaded the data it needed for your gaming. That way you couldn't broadcast anything from this, so you can play multiplayer. The likes of the X-Band, that worked in a way where it basically manipulated the code within games to make the Mega Drive think that you were playing another player in the room. So again, works quite differently from the modem here, which was the games that were released for this were coded specifically for the modem, so it was for proper online multiplayer. These other devices also plug directly into the cartridge slot, whereas this plugs into a specific port on the back of the Mega Drive. Before I open it up, I'll give you a quick look at the outside of the box. So on the front, you've got a picture of the modem. It shows you where it connects up to the Mega Drive. You just plug it in the back. Then you put your cartridge in as normal. On the side, you've got your Oyun Toshokan artwork. That's on both ends there and the top. And in the back, you've got some diagrams just showing you how you'd connect it all up. Open it up, and the first thing you'll see is your boxed copy of Oyun Toshokan or Game Library. It was a Japanese exclusive, so obviously everything's in Japanese. Put your game cartridge in here. Put your manual as well, black and white manual. This is your Japanese cartridge. And this is basically the software you need for connecting up to the Sega network. Also inside the box you get your registration card. You've got a pamphlet here which I think tells you how to set up the software for connecting up to the internet. And you also have your instruction manual for the modem itself. And this has some quite quirky looking artwork inside it as well. Here you've got your cable to connect the modem to the phone socket. You've also got a splitter for the wall, so you can have your phone and your modem plugged in at the same time. And finally, you've got the modem itself. And you also get the little screw attachment there for connecting it to the back of the Mega Drive that just goes in there. There's not a whole lot to it. It's quite a simple device. It plugs into the back of your Mega Drive just here, into that expansion port. Quite a similar connector to the standard controllers. And as you can see, it's a first-party peripheral made by Sega themselves. You've got your part number there, HAA2951. And that's pretty much it. You've got your connection for your phone down the end there, your phone socket port. And that's it. So the little screw just goes into the back like that. To be able to use the modem, you also need to have an original Mega Drive Mark I, but on top of that, it has to be one of the early revisions that has the extension port on the back, like this one here. So if you've ever wondered what this is for, now you know. and it was actually removed from later revisions of the console because obviously the modem didn't sell that well. It was discontinued not too long after it was released, so there was really no reason for Sega to continue producing consoles with that extension port on the back. So you'll only find it on the early revisions of Mark 1, and you won't find it on the Model 2, Genesis or Mega Drive at all. So all you do is you plug it into the back, like so. You tighten up the screw to secure it in place, and then you can hook up all your phone cables, your power, your AV, put in your cartridge, and you're ready to play some online Mega Drive games. To round off the unboxing and the overview, I'll give you a quick look at some of the modem compatible software in action, and I've got a copy of Cyberball here, and this is one of the few, if not the only game that was released in both PAL and North American territories that actually has the modem settings and options on the cartridge. They're just hidden from view, but if you have a modded Mega Drive like this one here and you have the modem hooked up, you can actually force those settings to become visible, and you can still play this online today. It's a peer-to-peer based system, so if you know someone else that's got a copy of this game and the modem, you can actually play your Mega Drive online. So I'll give you a quick look at that. I've got everything all hooked up now. I've got my PAL copy of Cyberball connected to my Mega Drive, which is currently in NTSC English mode, and I've also got the modem plugged in at the back. And if we just take a look at the main menu here, you won't see any option for the modem or online multiplayer. So what I can do is go back down here and just flip this over to Japanese, hit reset and let the console start up again. Grab my controller and just bring up the menu. You can see we now have the hidden option for the modem. So if I go down here, set that up, you can see we're now presented with a really funky looking old yellow Sega telephone. We've also got a robot hand, and from here I can punch in any number I want. And the way this would have worked, and it even still works today, is it's like a peer-to-peer system. So if I knew someone that had the modem and a copy of the game I wanted to play, I just dial their home number and this would call directly into their Mega Drive and we could play a two-player game. So really advanced. This is basically online multiplayer on a home console way back in the early 90s. And finally, this is just a quick look at the Sega Game Library menu screen. This is the software you'd use for connecting up to the servers and downloading your mini games and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's a quick look at the Sega Mega Drive modem. I managed to find mine on eBay. They're not too uncommon and they don't usually cost that much, but quite an interesting piece of gaming history, I suppose. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.